All right, friends, another video outside. This one out in my backyard. Again, I love doing videos outside. I'm not sure how many more beautiful days we're going to have here in southern Indiana. Fall is a fantastic time, but it's going to start turning cold here shortly. Hey, I was having a discussion with a client that I really thought was impactful and highlighted a message that I'm trying to get through in this channel. But I'm not always perfect with my communication and not always perfect understanding of what I'm trying to get through in these videos. So I thought this example may help you. So give me some comments either way, if it helped or if it didn't help, need more detail, whatever. But this client said, hey, he loved my videos. And he's been working with his maintenance personnel, trying to get them engaged. They're competent, they're skilled, but they do the minimum. And they're doing what they're told to be doing. They're not seeing new opportunities. They're not engaged. They're not coming up with new ideas. They don't, if they find a problem, they just report the problem. They don't fix it. They don't come up with creative solutions. So basically, good skilled people that are coming in and just punching the clock. They're putting in their 8 hours and then leaving. And what this client was doing was talking, having a lot of meetings and talking to the employees around the business case, what we need, what we should be doing, what the opportunities are, training on reliability and maintenance best practices. And he asked me, hey, what would you do? So, hey, this is Joe Kuhn of Lean-Driven Reliability, bridging the gap between best practices that you should be doing and the reality that you face every day. You face a culture and you're trying to modify that culture for a better day. So my feedback, I had two pieces of feedback for this individual. I said, number one, hey, folks, rarely do I find the solution is in re-education of people. Chalk circle observation is the place to start. I'm sorry to say that every time. It's my go-to answer for everything. Solve some problems that are waste and the source of frustration for the mechanics and electricians in your crew. You've got to see the world as they see it. Talk is cheap. You could stand up in front of a conference room, tell people all kinds of stuff, but they believe what you do, okay? Not what you say. They like what you say, but they believe what you do. So you walk a mile in their shoes, spend a couple days out there doing chalk circles, seeing what pain and frustration and waste they have. You're talking to them about improving, and they waste 6 hours of their day every single day. You're talking a foreign language to them, okay? Does that make sense? You've got to show that you're going to attack waste and attack the problems that they see, okay? And from that vantage point, from the vantage point of, hey, Joe's driving a lot of changes here. Listen, here's 10 things that we have improved, and our work lives are better as mechanics and electricians. We're more efficient. We want the equipment to run well. The company obviously wants it to run well. We're coming together on these things. So walk a mile in the mechanic and electricians, brick masons, whoever, whatever your multi-crafts, whatever you call them, technicians, and attack the waste and frustrations that they see. And from that foundation of trust, great things are going to happen. Okay, that's step number one. Okay, that's ground rule, table stakes for getting engagement. Number two, once you start getting some people excited, give them some responsibility. Okay, now this may seem counterintuitive, but your craft people want things to run well. Your technicians want things to run well. Part of the job as a leader is creating the structure for people to take ownership. For example, you can go to a mechanic that seems to have a passion for lubrication, and lubrication is one of our problems at this plant. Nobody knows if the equipment was lubricated, if it was lubricated with the right stuff, did they put the right amount in there, was it the right frequency? Just some confusion around that. Why don't you give Jane the responsibility for lubrication on these 10 pieces of equipment? Not only does she execute the PMs, She communicates to others what she has done, what's the right, lube, what's the right frequency, what's the right amount. And then monthly is reporting on compliance. Hey, we were supposed to lubricate these 10 machines, 40 times, and we got a 38 out of 40. Here's the help I need. Here's what I need from management. And report on that once a month. Give them a piece of the pie. You will be shocked at the enthusiasm that comes out of Jane now that she feels responsible for that. Okay. Now you got to coach Jane on how to be a process owner. But then you just expand this. You could have a kidder stager position. You could have a planner position. You could have a planner assistant. Say you have a planner at your site, but you need somebody to go out and verify and help build the kits. And you don't want to have a full-time kidder stager, have that be a part-time person. So, a person could be, can do some technology like PDM, like PDM. There's just dozens and dozens of things where you can give people a piece of the business and let them manage it, okay? That drives engagement. I'm telling you, you cannot tell the difference between a highly motivated engineer and a technician when you give them responsibility and you give them sponsorship. So those are the two things that I would do to drive enthusiasm and engagement. Yes, you have to connect the dots for people, and by connect the dots, you say, hey, we used to have, for example, we'd say, hey, we used to have, 30% of our failures on these pieces of equipment was due to lubrication, but because we have a lubrication SPA, single point of accountability, the work Jane's been doing, that is dropped down to number 10 on the list of priorities or equipment downtime. So you connect the dots of what action is executed to the business result. Okay, so that's the leader has to make that constant connection of what action is leading to what result and show people that it's making a difference. Then you'll get more enthusiasm as you get this flywheel of engagement going. Make sense? Hey, drop me a line, let me know if this makes sense to you, and if you want some more detail on it. Hey, look forward to another video coming from me on process management, how to set up equipment owners for different slices of the business. I have experience with a fairly sophisticated process called process management that will help you prevent drift in your processes. Drift is when you come out with a standard for, let's say, lubricating this piece of equipment every Monday, this 1 ounce of grease, we do it every Monday, and this is who does it. And then that drifts to, well, every other Monday, and it drifts to once a quarter, and then nobody's ever doing it. So how do you prevent that drift from happening? This process called process management is fantastic, and I will put a video out on that. I think it's going to be my next one, and then I will have a document on my website because it's fairly detailed, that it's a do-it-yourself document. You just take that document, put in process management to prevent drift in your processes. Okay, this is Joe Kuhn out.